Welcome everyone to the Pro Trader Room Plus and Nopa Crush. My name is Lee Goldstein, the Trading Director at 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. It's possible to lose money trading futures. All the trades we discuss for educational purposes. All right, make sure that your charts are on ZL 1225. I'm also watching soybeans ZS 1125. Now, you want to put your chart, right click, data series, change your trading hour template to default 24/7. That way your pivots, your highs of days, lows of days will calculate correctly. It just has to do with what time the market opens and closes. That's what trading hour templates take into account. Same thing on your ZL. Right click data series, make sure trading hour template is on default 24/7, apply it and OK it. All right, so what do we think is going to happen with Nopa? We think probably nothing. We canceled last month, we canceled in August, we should have canceled in July. So there could be random movement, but because of tariffs, we're not expecting a report to generate movement. Not like this. This was a video within a video of a Nopa trade that worked great. We haven't seen a Nopa trade that worked great. There was one in April because of tariffs, when the tariffs were first announced. But generally, Nopa has, after the first year, Nopa has been pretty mediocre at best. It has not been a very good trade. It started out as a family money trade, and it's in the on the verge of being canceled. That's where we are with Nopa. And you can see you've got 3 cancels in a row. There was a stop in June, a cancel in May. We got there. It was limit down, and that was tariff related, I'm sure. So we had 2 anomaly months, April and May. I'm still going to set up the normal trade. This is probably the last shot I'm going to give it. Okay? Last shot I'm giving it. There is movement in the soybean oil. That's what we're trading, soybean oil, ZL 1225. Our bracket's pretty small. Right click the chart, click strategies, double click news trader, breakout. We're going to trigger at 11:59:59. There is no calendar anywhere that announces this news. So normally when that happens, if we're trading a report that has movement, we get filled. And that's how we know the news is out. In the case of this, I'll probably wait up to a minute maybe, unless I feel I see what I think is a dull move. And I will let you know, certainly I will say what I think is going on. Small bracket, 6, a target of 6, and a target. I'm going to make my second target 20. You never know. If there's a decent move, I want to trade it. It's only $6 a tick. If it hits my first target, I think in this case, I don't really want to use the break even. I'm not going to move my stop. I'll do everything pretty much manually, unless it explodes and hits both my targets. The stop, I'm going to use a 20 stop. All right, I'm going to go a little 20 on my stop. So bracket of 6, Target 1 is 6 ticks. Target 2 is 20. Stop of 20. I'm going to label it breakout ZL, soybean oil. I'm going to put the time to 0 to look at the width of the brackets for trade management. The reason you do it is just to be able to manage the trade. It's nothing, no secret big deal. Okay, I just want a bracket. I don't want to be like this. I can't manage a trade where the brackets are scrunched together. Now remember, you can get rid of the vertical line. Right-click strategy, scroll down to optional, show vertical line on entry, uncheck it, apply it. Now I'm going to go back, put my time back to 11, 59.59, bracket of 6, position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1, target of 6, target of 20. Put the account on one of my trading accounts. I have to turn on my data connection, turn on my Bullinox. Okay, now I'll go back and I can add my account. And I have a label, breakout BRKZL. Apply it, okay it. How do you save a template? So look, we have a setup, right? Before you okay it, go to template, go to save, and then start typing Nopa, today's date. There's your template. Type save. Now we have a Nopa. You know how you traded it when you come back here in November. And I'm going to enable it. And I'm going to put my chart trader on the account I'm trading. All right. And you can look at that right there. All right. So I'm also going to put on a couple of positions, a couple of contracts. Adding a second strategy, double click news trader, change breakout to reverse continue, 2 positions, 2 contracts, 1 position. Sorry, I say that all the time. 2 contracts, 1 position. That's all I'm doing for a discretionary trade. A 20 tick target, 25 tick stop. It's a discretionary trade. If after the news there's no fill, there's no trade, and then there starts to be movement, I want to be able to take advantage of it. Label that reverse REV space ZL space continue. Why do we label trades? Apply it and okay it. Because up in the control panel, if you label your trade, under the strategy tab right at the beginning, you see the name of the trade. What if right before the news comes out, you want to cancel a trade for whatever reason? There might be an important reason. And you don't know which trade is which because you didn't label it. And sometimes canceling saves you from losing money. So everything that we can do in our power to make things clearer and easier for trading, you want to do. So label your trades, record your trades. I don't understand. People don't put the effort in. Find a recorder, a free recorder, or pay for a reasonably priced recorder. You could use Loom. They have a free version. Snagit is cheap for a year. Plenty of recorders. Everyone should be recording all your own trades. Every single trade you should record. How are you going to learn if you can't watch what you do? You'll speed up your education by 1,000,000 times. Now, soybeans, they haven't been moving well on this trade, but I don't expect them to do anything on this trade, but I'll still set up a reverse continue. It's $12.50 a tick on soybeans, just like the S&P, the ES. I'm just going to trade 1 position on soy, and we'll go for a 15 tick target, and we'll go for a 15 tick stop. Scroll down, everything else is default. I'm going to label it reverse beans. Continue. So it's differentiated from the ZL and ZS. They're very similar. And I'm going to put it in our prop account. Apply it, okay it. Make sure you put your chart trader on the account you're trading where you won't see your orders. Enable your reverse continuation and you get your instant long, instant short buttons. And there you have it. Back in April, look what happened. Back in April, tariffs were announced in April. It's a noon report. National Oilseeds Producer Association is what I believe it stands for. National Oilseed Producers Association. Just a gorgeous move in April. You could get your stop above your entry into safety. And it pulled back a little bit, but then you had the opportunity to trail. It was a great move. It just was big because of tariffs. And we got to take advantage of it. Our trade setup was perfect. Big fat move. Then in May, we got there. The market was closed because it had moved too much prior to the news. There was a gigantic move in soybean oil, and the market was shut down. It's called limit down. That's something everyone should know about the grains. Every market, actually, and most traders know, every market is subject to what they call limit up or limit down. If they're with the regular indices, it's got to be a really big move to shut the markets down temporarily. And they don't do it the same way that, for instance, the soybean market does it. If you reach limit down on a market like the soybeans, then the market is not open until the next scheduled opening of that market. So, for instance, if you're trading the WASDE report and soybeans move so much, and it could be minutes or it could be a spike, they move so much that they reach limit up or limit down, then the market will close. And if you're in the market, let's say you're in the market in cash, you will be stuck in the market until it reopens. You cannot exit. That's never happened to me, but we have seen a couple of times over the past 10 years. This is how rare it is. Maybe 4 times over the last 10 years that I've seen a market reach limit in a grain market. Um, Never on a spike. Once right after the spike, like 30 seconds after we were out of the WASDE, it just kept going, going, going. We had a great winner that day, and it just kept going up and up and up. And the market actually hit limit up. It went up so much that there's a safe, they call it a safety measure. With the indices, I don't know how they decide when to reopen them, but it's not necessarily the next time the market opens. Sometimes it's just a few minutes after they reach limit. Don't ask me what the limit price is. I've called the trade desk 5 times to ask them what the limit is, and they can't even calculate it. It's so complicated and obtuse. I mean, I wish there's probably someone smart out there. You know what? With ChatGPT now, I'll bet we could figure out what the price would be. I'm not going to do it right this second, but I'm going to type it while I'm watching. Let's see if it tells us anything interesting. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't rely on ChatGPT unquestioned. I just want you to know that. They don't get things right all the time. All right, so you could see there was a little bit of movement in the instrument. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a normal trade today. The problem, part of the issue is we haven't had a really good trading NOPA report in more than a year. Maybe there's only been one out of 12. That's the real issue with NOPA. It's been a crappy report to trade. I had to let that fill because it certainly looks like we were on the right side of the news here. Now, with that kind of movement, I would expect to get a follow through. I don't want my stop too close so that it stops me out right away, but it came 2 ticks away from my first target. And now, if it just goes dead or if it jerks the other way, I'm going to be very disappointed. That looked like a news move without question. So I'd like to think that we would get a continued move in the upward direction. That's what I would expect when you get a move like that. Right now, I can't get out of this trade with a profit because I'm underwater by about 5 ticks. And I'm not happy about it because I only had an 8 tick target. It's ridiculous. This was not a very big move. So don't think that, we've been the victim of a giant move. The candle, the total candle is 12 miserable ticks. All right. Calvin, I'm not seeing anything on the news. Let me get rid of my soybeans. I want to get to my first target at least. I want to get to my first target. And we should get to the first target. Now, can I pull my target down so that I get a profit here? I mean, let's get the target. We should get our target. Soybeans moved a little bit. Okay, we got our target. Now I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to put my second target all the way up at the high because that's the right place for it. And I'm going to move my stop 2 ticks above break even. All right. And I'm going to sit and watch a little bit. I'll trail when I get a little more upward movement, if I get it. Soybeans, are they going to go test the high here? Now, so we made 48 stupid dollars on that trade because I put my stop above safety. Stop above safety. Yes, volume increased. Volume increased. I'm going for a test of the high. That's what I'm looking for. If it breaks the previous low of this candle, then I'll give the money back. Soybeans are probably going to test the high also. It certainly looks like it. It certainly looks like it. But I'm just going to trade the oil, not the soybeans. The squeeze is in our favor. All right. And I'll give it 10 minutes or so. Squeeze is in our favor. And then we will be back for beige book. Beige book, beige book. I'm not seeing any news at all, Calvin. Nothing. I'm not hearing anything in my headset for whatever reason. I'm not sure why. I'm not hearing anything. My mic is set up. I should hear if there's any news. If they say anything, it's working. But nothing that would cause the market, the NQ, to be moving extra. So look, if we don't get a follow through, then it'll just be too bad. Now, can you put your stop? A smart place for a stop might be under the previous open and the VWAP. That's where I'll put my stop. I think that's reasonable. Soybeans, they look like they're going to test the high. Soybean oil, maybe they'll get halfway. I don't want to move my stop to break even yet because what's the point? I either want to make another 50, 60, 70 bucks or I'll give it all back. I just don't think it makes sense to move the stop yet. Now, you could bring your target down and just exit the trade, bring it down to the price, and make about 75 bucks on the trade. Either way, it's not going to be life changing. Whatever happens here, it's not going to blow up the account. It's not going to fund the account. It's just one more trade on a normal day. So it's pretty common, to get this small amount of volatility. We're talking 1 and 2 ticks here. We're not talking large moves. So right now the squeeze is supporting the upward move, but the orders have really shrunk, the volume, I should say. So I'll give it a few more minutes. So I've been asking ChatGPT to give me the exact prices on the limit up and limit down, and it didn't do it. It said it would give me the exact price, and then it didn't calculate it. I saw the tweeting about cooking oil. Why do we import cooking oil from China? Why? What does cooking oil come from? What poisonous substance are we killing ourselves with to use cooking oil? I don't use cooking oil. I don't use oil. I use as little oil as possible because I know it's harmful. I try not to use a lot of butter. I don't try not to use soybean oil ever. It's poison. So this may not work. I may give back some money and lose a little bit. Francis, what do you mean? So it looks like this isn't going to work because it's going to do its reversal, which is too bad. But like I said, what do we get? How many ticks? The price when we got here was the orange arrow. It didn't go enough to hit our first target initially. The total move was 24 ticks. We had a six bracket, but it is reversing. Usually ChatGPT would do that calculation, but it's not. I'm gonna. It just never answered. So I'm just gonna retype it in what I was expecting. See what it does. Uh, I don't know what the recent settlement price was. So it looks like I'm going to get stopped on this. And it's a little bit frustrating because I know that there's often a reversal on this also. And now I'm really aggravated. Now I'm really aggravated that I turned a winner, a crappy winner, into a crappy loser. I think our odds are much better at getting stopped on this than now at going back to test the high. So it is interesting. Soybeans never made it to the high. They've lost all their momentum. There's no momentum anymore on the squeeze. Soybean oil lost its momentum. It could bounce at the VWAP. I think I need to make my VWAP a little bit thicker. I'm missing it. So I right click indicator, VWAP, highlight, and then the line, order flow VWAP, line, make it a 2 or a 3. So it's bigger, thicker. Still could be even a little thicker than that. 3. You can save time if you click right on an indicator and then highlight it with those little bubbles. You can right click it and click properties and get right to the settings without right clicking indicator, finding the indicator. That way it takes you right to the indicator you're working on. I think a line width of 2 is plenty thick. View up. Did I just goof? Line 2. I don't need a 3. It's a little too thick. There we go. Now I'll stay in this trade for 10 hours until it goes one way or the other. There's no reason to exit it. I mean, we do have beige book, but Like if I was just trading on my own, I would not, there's no reason to exit. I just, of course, I realize all the momentum from the event is over. The one thing you want to be aware of is what time does the soybean oil market close? I don't want to be stuck in the market, and I don't remember what time it closes. What time does ZL futures market? I think it's about 1 o'clock or 1:30. 1:20. 3:20. 3:20 Eastern time. If Central time is 2:20, that's 3:20 our time, right? So it looks like 3:20. I thought it was earlier than that. I thought it was earlier than that. So we're in this trade. This trade could last forever. I want to thank the folks that are watching us stream on YouTube. If you hit the like button and the notification bell, you'll know the next time we're streaming. And I want to thank you for joining